We've been having a record-breaking heat wave here in the UK. In the southeast where I am, we're even under a hosepipe ban. So in this video, we're going to be looking at how to plant your plants up in a heat wave. And I'm just going to show you this border here where I've been planting up some late flowering to autumn flowering plants. And as you can see, these were planted up 2 days ago while we were still in the throes of the heat wave. And do you know what? I actually haven't even watered these plants since I planted them up, and they are thriving. I will of course water them today though, because I don't want to leave it too long. But the point is, because I planted them up so well, using some simple techniques and taking some care over it, they have survived. And not only that, they've thrived, even though they've been planted up during a heat wave. So in this video, I'm going to share with you all my secrets and hints and tips of how I plant up plants in a heat wave, because sometimes you just got to get on with it. And the reason why plants are so vulnerable during a heat wave, which means that you have to take extra care, is because basically they transpire at a greater rate. So not only is the soil around them really dry often, or dries out very quickly, and the roots just cannot access the moisture, especially in a prolonged heat wave, at the same time the plant above ground is transpiring, so it's losing moisture through its leaves constantly at a rapid rate. So it's being hit from all angles by the drought and the heat wave. This is why you see them droop so quickly when you get this kind of weather if you don't look after them properly. So another question you might be asking yourself is, do I even need to plant these plants up in a heat wave? Can't I just leave them and deal with it afterwards? Well, maybe you can. It depends. So we'll look at some of the circumstances where you probably should plant them up even though it's a heat wave. So if you've just bought these plants from a nursery or garden centre in recent days or weeks, especially if it's weeks, you probably should plant them up even in a heat wave. Nursery plants and garden centre bought plants are extremely vulnerable, are struggling. The roots are filling the pots nearly always when they're bought this way, which means they're rapidly running out of resources and there isn't even enough room for much water anyway. And second of all, in the compost they use in those nurseries and garden centre plants is very lightweight, low nutrient, and it really doesn't retain moisture. They don't want to carry extra weight when they're delivering all these plants. So the plants are in really quite poor compost for the long term. I mean, they'll do fine, obviously, until you buy them. But that's why quite often in garden centres and nurseries, you'll see them say, plant up as soon as you get home. They really mean that. They're not just saying that. Get that plant out that pot and plant it up as soon as you get home. Not only does it have no nutrients, it's too small and it cannot hold enough water. They also become hydrophobic in that compost, which means that when you even do water them, it's not really going through to the roots. It's kind of just running off the top or just going down the sides, but it's not getting into the entire root ball. So in that circumstances, yes, you're better off planting it up in a heat wave. The other time is obviously when it's outgrowing the pot. So it could be just a plant you've planted up at home, you've transplanted it into a bigger pot, and now it needs to be potted on. It's desperate to be potted on, but you've got this heat wave. Well, I'm going to show you it's going to be better to plant it out anyway. And obviously if you've bought a bare root, I mean, for whatever reason, I don't know, I don't buy bare roots really at this time of year, but in case you have, you would obviously then have to plant it up. You can't just leave it out. If you have to leave them till the weekend, put them in shade. Plants will be fine, even if it says it needs full sun. If it's in a small plot and it's desperate for water and it's desperate to be planted out, don't leave it struggling in the full sun. Put it in full shade, keep it watered regularly until you are ready to plant it out at the weekend. So now you've decided you do need to plant some of your plants up regardless of there being a heat wave, then we need to crack on and get on to the next step. And the first step, step one, is to condition your plants ready for transplanting. You need to water and preferably soak. In fact, soaking really is the only option in a heat wave at this point, before you even think about planting. The best way is to get the plant out of the pot that it's in and soak it in a clean bucket of water. That's to make sure it is fully soaked through. Plants in pots, especially as I said earlier from the garden centre or nursery, in their poor dry compost, become hydrophobic. That means no matter how much water you pour from a watering can into that pot, it will just run off or run internally down the sides, and you'll find that the central root ball is still dry as a bone. And the only real way you can combat this is to soak the whole root ball in water. Depending on how big the plant is, you may need to soak it for 20 to 30 minutes. If it's a larger plant, you're looking at 1 to 2 hours. But stop right there before you dunk that root ball in that bucket of water. You need to tease out all those roots as well, because the last thing we want is a pot-bound root ball going into the dry earth, because that will not be able to access water. We want to encourage the roots to search for water once they're planted up and not just stay in that little minimal root ball, which is not only going to restrict their growth, it's going to prevent them from anchoring into the earth where you've planted them, which means they'll be prone to toppling over in wind. But also, because the roots aren't encouraged to spread, they'll be confined to whatever moisture and nutrients are in that very small area in that root ball. And what we want to do is we want to encourage the plant to survive by spreading those roots into a wider area to access untapped areas of nutrient and moisture. This gives it a much greater chance of survival than if you leave it pot bound. If you leave it pot bound when you plant it up, in fact, it won't survive. You'll be battling with the elements and with nature for the rest of that plant's life. And that life will not be long if you don't tease those roots out. Step 2 is what I do before I even begin digging the hole. So I've got my plant soaking, and now I'm going to soak the earth, because for one thing, your earth, if it's anything like mine, if it's clay, it's going to be like a brick. So I soak it usually with 1 to 2 cans of water in the area where I'm going to dig the hole. And I do that first. I let all the water drain down into the area where I'm going to dig the hole. And I do that twice before I move on to step 3. Well, step 3 is, of course, digging the hole. And when you're digging the hole, I tend to dig the hole itself. I will dig about 1/3 larger than the container that the plant is already in. If the roots are really pot bound and you can see when you tease them out that there's a lot of root, then go even bigger. But what I then do, once I've got the hole about 1/3 to 1/2 bigger than the pot that it came in, I then also use my fork to tease around down deeper and loosen the soil deeper and wider again, so that the compost is crumbly and not compacted even around the area of the hole. So these roots have a big wide base to start growing into fast. Then I enrich the bottom of the compost hole with some fresh compost just for extra nutrients, and I put in a bit of blood, fish and bone as well. And once I've put in the compost, prepared the feed, loosened the soil all around, then I water the hole again. And there's 2 reasons for watering the hole again, even though your plant is now fully hydrated. You want to just make sure that the water goes even deeper and wider. And this will encourage the roots as well to go searching for them. So you'll just end up with a much stronger plant in the long run. And you should do that even if it's not a heat wave, to be honest. But the other reason for doing it in a heat wave is because it cools the hole. It cools the temperature of the soil in the hole. And this will help the plant retain moisture when it's finally planted up, and just help it from transpiring too quickly as well. Well, step 4 is now time, obviously, to put the root ball into the hole. Make sure it's at the same level that it is in the pot. So whatever level it was at the pot, whether it was deeply planted in the pot or high planted up to near the surface, you need to maintain that level with the ground that you're planting it in. So if the hole is too big at the bottom, you might want to sort of raise it up a bit with some compost before you put the root ball in the hole. Honestly, I did water it again at this point as well. Again, keep the temperature low, keep the moisture locked in and spread in a wider area for those roots to access. And then, of course, when you've done all that, you can backfill and then tread it in as well to make sure that it's stable and firmly anchored into the ground where you want it to grow. And then step 5, you guessed it, water again. You cannot be too careful. It's not that established plants would need this much watering. Of course they don't, because they have a large, complex, deep root system, and they are amazing at accessing moisture and nutrients in times of stress. But brand new plants cannot do that. So you have to baby them until those roots spread wide and the plant becomes established. Depending on the type of plant, you could add a moist level of mulch, whether that be leaf mold, bark chippings, manure. This will help lock in the moisture to stop it from evaporating from the top of the soil and suppress weeds. And believe it or not, weeds, they compete for resources, so they'll be competing for the water in the soil that your plant needs. So you do need to keep on top of the weeds, but also they will restrict airflow. Now, if you've got a heat wave and there's a bit of a breeze bringing the temperature down, you want your plant to benefit from that breeze. But if it's surrounded by weeds, it's just going to suffocate. If after you've done all that and it's still wilting, your plant is still struggling, then you may want to consider erecting a temporary shade. Even sun-loving plants will get stressed from too much sun for too long without a break. So you can use sheets, parasols, a gazebo. You can even use cardboard, as long as you don't raise the temperature, because cardboard can raise the temperature around plants. So just be mindful of that. You can wet the cardboard down, of course, do it that way. You can even just prop up an umbrella, anything to take the baking sun off the plant during the hottest part of the day. And finally, you must remember to keep watering, usually for several weeks, but definitely while the heat wave is on. You're going to want to put a bucket of water per day on your plant to make sure that it can establish and that it won't suffer during the bedding in period when it's establishing itself. Okay, well, I hope that video has given you the confidence to plant your plants up in a heat wave. You know, life isn't perfect. We can't always just not do jobs because it's hot. We have to just crack on. The garden requires constant maintenance, whether it's hot, cold, or otherwise. And I've been planting up a whole border. I have a whole load of plants I need to plant up in the border. They're really suffering in the heat wave. And I weighed up the risks and rewards, and I felt that in the pots it was too risky keeping them going every day through this prolonged heat wave. So I took the decision to plant them up, and I'm so glad I did, because they are actually thriving now. All right, so thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and all that jazz, and share your comments as well. Your top tips for planting up in a heat wave, or just preserving plants generally in a heat wave, would be helpful. And thanks again for all of those of you who supported me when I don't know what happened last week. I got really down about my YouTube channel and just about things in general. I was just juggling too many plates, which is just something I've done all my life. And occasionally I kind of crash and burn. So I think that's what happened last week. And then you were also kind, and I just managed to get loads of work done on my novel. So I suddenly felt really energized to get a video done. So I don't know. I guess I'll crash and burn again at some point in the future. So just ignore me when that happens. But thanks again for your support, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.